Hi Lee, always great to meet up with you and start working on your game. 2014 looks like it could be a fun season. The swing's coming on a treat. If we look at it top left, it's a better version of the swing you had last year. The hands sit a little bit high. What we'd like to see is the butt of the club sitting more on the lower line, so that the shaft, if a line drawn up the shaft, would hit you on the belt buckle, as demonstrated by Hunter Mayhem on the far right. That for you is going to encourage a little bit more of an inward move of the hands, keeping the hands lower for longer, so sort of offset that quick pick-up tendency that you've got with the hands. It's also going to help prevent the club rolling behind you, which can happen on occasion. So if we can just keep the hands a little bit lower at setup, that's going to make it easier to keep the hands lower during the takeaway, and make it a little bit easier for that left shoulder to work a little bit more in a downward direction, keeping us underplaying. So we watch Hunter Mayhem, you can see the hands stay on the lower line for longer, and the club stays in front of the hands for a little bit longer. The other thing that's going to do is encourage a little bit better setting of the wrists during the backswing. Having said that, if we continue you on, again, much better position than you used to be. You elevate onto the higher line by about P3 when the left arm's parallel with the ground. What we see with the likes of Hunter is that the hands stay on the lower line until about waist level. Then they start to gradually elevate onto the higher line, only reaching it at the top of the backswing. So we hit that elbow plane line as we approach the top of the backswing. The hands then come straight back down the elbow plane line, so there is a slight shift out with the arms during the downswing, but the club stays in between the two lines. With yourself, the hands come nicely down the elbow plane line. The club doesn't really shallow out quite enough, and the club tends to get a little bit above plane coming into the golf ball. Because of that, instead of the sweet spot being exposed to the golf ball, we have a tendency for the heel to get exposed, and that's where the neck of the club on occasion can hit the ball and produce the shank out to the right that can plague it on occasion. So what we're seeing here is we've got the cane in place, and we're going to try and keep the hands and arms underneath that cane. We've got the handle a little bit lower. I'd still like to see it go a touch lower than that, so the wrist arch at setup isn't quite as pronounced. Hands stay a little bit lower for a little bit longer. They certainly stay lower at the top. Coming down, the shaft now shallows just a little bit more than before. And as we're coming into the golf ball, we're presenting the sweet spot to the ball rather than the heel of the club to the golf ball. We'll then take a little look at these through the hitting area. On the right hand one, we're continuing to swing down the plane line, so we're hitting out at the golf ball an appropriate amount. On the top one, we've just started to come inside just a little bit too quick, swinging to the left just a fraction too much, and that was resulting in some nice shaped shots that were just starting too far to the left. So we've got a good swing, it's just directed a little bit too much to the left. So the whole session really was based around redirecting the golf swing, trying to get it from producing sort of pull draws, which we see on the top left. Ball starts slightly left and then draws, to some push draws where the ball starts slightly to the right, bottom left image, and then draws back. So the mechanics haven't changed too much. We've just realigned the swing to suit the type of shot that you want to hit. Good luck with it, and I look forward to some dates and look forward to working with you more in the coming months. Well done.